Okay, Ashley and Team 4, thank you very much. Ashley, I'm just going to address some of your writing right here. Reevaluate our final solution to make something that provided modularity and allowed for an unlimited amount of users to interact. Excellent, excellent idea. Um, I think that really brings just volumes to the validity and the usefulness of user-centered design in that you're taking this process and you're expanding the usability of it to include not only the immediate user, but those who are observing the immediate future, the immediate user, which actually kind of addresses some of the things that you had mentioned in your discussion board, Ashley, and that is that, okay, so we're still confronted with the problem of having to go to the dealership, which 95% of us, when shopping for cars, are trying to avoid. So I think this is really, really a good, I think it points to human-centered design in that you are actually looking at not only the immediate solution, but residual solutions as well. I was really super pleased to read this Team 4. This is just really good thinking, good design thinking. Okay, we were able to complete our paper prototype. Excellent. Be working on our digital wireframes. Our next step is to start user testing and compile feedback to improve the tool prior to getting it. Excellent. You got it. Team 4, you got it. You got the process. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to the presentation. All right, really great start. I'm going to just kind of reduce this a little bit in the screen because I want to be able to fit it in the window. Okay, all right. Great cover, good job. Okay, on the cover, I would mention something now. It sounds to me, though no one in your group has specifically mentioned it, as the members of Team 4 have indicated that they are shooting for this piece as a possible inclusion in their individual student portfolios, and therefore they're going above and beyond the requirements and even above and beyond the recommendations to include things to make this an all-inclusive, um, uh, relevant, complete artifact based on the design solution at hand. I should say the design problem at hand. That said, it looks like you're following suit on that, or it looks like you've decided to include this in your student portfolios based on the robust nature of this presentation. That said, I would recommend on your cover, include the words somewhere, allow the viewer to immediately know before starting the presentation that this is involving HCD, human-centered design. It's very, very important to include that. It's somewhere at the beginning of the process so that the potential portfolio reviewer, or in many cases, the potential hiring professional that is looking at your portfolio will look at this and say, not only does this individual have showing experience with the collaborative process in teamwork, but also this piece is indicating human-centered design. Okay, so again, on the cover, just mentioned that it's a collaborative team project and that is human-centered design project. Okay, table of contents, excellent. Good imagery, guys, good imagery. Good job. That's a really great image for the cover. Really, it's so sleek. Really nice job. Very inviting cover, very inviting. Okay, table of contents, excellent. Team members, outstanding. Love the color coordination, the continuation of color use in the subheads and I notice your heads are all in gray and on a gray background in white, and your subheads basically are in red. And that's interesting. That keeps things itemized so that the viewer has expectations by the time they get to page 3 or so. They know categorically what they're looking at. That's excellent. Problem analysis, good job. Yeah. Okay, one thing I would mention is this. I know you mentioned this a little bit later in your presentation, but right here, this is a little bit misleading, and I'm looking for a way to improve this opening comment right here. The problem analysis is that there's a need to create a vehicle configurator kiosk as a physical environment. In order to make a tool of this scale successful, you need to understand the pain points of a vehicle purchasing experience. Okay, yes, there is a need to create a vehicle configurator kiosk, but the problem analysis isn't creating a new interface for a kiosk. The problem analysis should include changing the way individuals shop for automobiles based on negative experience with the dealership. Okay, it's very, very important, because saying that, okay, the problem analysis here, it almost alludes to the fact that you're almost saying our problem is that vehicle configurator kiosks could be improved, whereas that's not the case. You dig deep and you say the problem is fixing the inherent issues associated with dealership buying. So you're super close right here, and I think that you mean exactly what I said, but I just want to make that specifically clear again for any kind of potential misunderstanding or miscue by a portfolio reviewer or ultimately a hiring professional. Solving the problem, deep dive methodology, the 3 factors, excellent, excellent. Deep dive methodology. I'm seeing you might want to include IDEO. You might want to refer to IDEO. I don't see. Oh, here we are. All right, never mind. Got it. Deep dive methodology. Excellent, excellent. Solving the problem. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Yes, right here. You are changing the vehicle purchasing experience for the better. That is the problem we're solving. We're not solving any kind of inherent issues with current technology or presentation or availability of automobile configuration kiosks or software. We are trying to address the inherent issues of the contemporary 2019 average car buyer in their displeasure of going to the dealership, which we all, I mean, it's a nasty experience going to a dealership. It is just a nasty, nasty experience. And I think that is the underlying problem. So addressing that here is I think that's excellent. Okay, design thinking, good job. Tying HCD in with your solution, in with design thinking, excellent, excellent. Good images, by the way, really excellent. That's great. Really, really good images, guys. Okay, Mazda brand, good. Technically, that should be a hanging punctuation right there. So, which means the W should be aligned with the E, and that punctuation should be hanging off the margin. That will clean up the left margin. It's really super simple to hang punctuation. I'm guessing that you compiled this in InDesign. So just do a quick search of how to hang punctuation in InDesign. Technically, that quote should be hanging as well. Okay, your rag right, so there you wouldn't hang any punctuation on the right margin. Okay, Mazda research user group, excellent. Technically, I mean, you should use an N dash there. That's separating 2 numbers. That's N as in Nancy. That's a regular dash right there. Also, if you can, try to remember to use old style figures in the presentation of numerals. If the typeface you're using does not have OpenType capabilities, where old style figures are not available, you can just reduce the size of this by probably maybe 2 picas, or so. Well, let me just say by about a point, maybe even 2 points. Just what you want to do is you want to make a little bit more of consistency between the X height, the size of the ascenders, and the letters themselves, which look huge in comparison to the rest of your type. Conversely, all caps, if you don't have you're using all caps in CX5 and CRV, if your typeface you're using has OpenType capabilities, you definitely want to use small caps. If small caps aren't available, then again, reduce the type size on that by about 2 points. Okay, a point or 2. Just check it out, see what it is. The problem is right now, this just looks so big. We have these definite breaks and typographic breaks as we read through, because this figure is so much bigger than the type, and so are the caps. That's the reason for that. Okay, this page, idea exploration. This is fantastic, but this is your introduction to individual users group exploration sketches, right? For this reason, you might even take 2 pages or increase the amount of area that you have. A couple of recommendations here is this is the introduction to the problem. These are your initial ideas. I would say it's important to kind of draw these out. I'm sorry, not draw them out, write out, give us a hit list on what's happening here. Because these sketches are difficult to see and you can't really read the notes in the individual sketches. I think it's great that you're showing the sketches. Maybe take this into 3 pages, one for Danielle, one for Angela, one for Ashley, and then present your 3 sketches and then give a written synopsis of what's happening. I think that's really important because, again, this is idea exploration. To many, many, many designers and many theorists, group exploration and idea exploration is one of the foundational cornerstones in all of human-centered design and all of design thinking. So it's important to introduce your ideas in more than just a sketch with a description, I think, would suffice beautifully. Idea exploration. From here on in, guys, you are rock solid. This is fantastic. Good job, including including the key features. Excellent. You may indicate that these are separate paragraphs. You might either say 3 key features and then just put a little dot, a little bullet right in front of each one or something. I don't know, maybe even just a little M dash to let the viewer know that these are 3 separate features. The other option is to indent here a little bit for each one of these, just so the viewer knows that this is not a continuation of the last paragraph. Same thing here. Excellent job here. This is good stuff, guys. God, I am so pleased with the results so far of the deep dive. Team 3, you guys are doing fantastic. Team 4 is knocking it out as well. So this is fantastic stuff. I love it. Final solution, excellent. I don't want to get too far into this because I'm so much looking forward to the presentation of your final solution. So I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I don't want a spoiler alert, so to speak. So okay, paper prototypes. Man, you guys are on. Paper prototypes for self-identification quiz. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think that's a home run idea right there. Home run. Good job. Paper prototypes for customization, paper prototypes for car simulation test drive, and then your digital wireframes. Guys, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Those of you who are watching along, get some ideas here. This is really, really amazing work. And team 3 and team 4 as well. Team 3 and team 4, you guys are really doing well. Definitely looking forward to seeing team 1 and team 2. But again, I am so super pleased with what we have so far. So fantastic job, guys. Listen, if there are any questions at all, please let me know because we're coming down to it. And I'm also, as you've noticed, I'm also giving recommendations on layout and page mechanics as well as content because it's really super important for me. For those of you who are intended on using this in your portfolio, it's super important to me that it's good, solid design as well as good, solid content. Okay, over 13 minutes, didn't want to do that. Trying to be as complete as possible though, so forgive me for the length of this video. And again, really super important. Any questions or clarifications, please let me know quickly. All right, great job, guys. Thank you.